All right, so we tackled problem 6, a 1200 volts to 27.5 volts. So you see 120 volts is the input here and 27.5 volts is the output. And this is working at 400 hertz transformer. And it is to be operated at 60 hertz. So what is the highest safe input voltage? So in this case, we are talking about input. Okay? Input at 400 hertz, input at 60 hertz. So since we know the generated EMF is 4.44 frequency times the maximum flux multiplied by the number of turns. And if this is in the primary, so be it, everything is N1 is, of course, we use N1, the primary turns, right? So since we are talking about input, okay, we shall talk about 120 volts. And take note that 4.44 theta sub m and n sub 1 is gonna be the same in 400 hertz and 60 hertz. It's because we are going to use the same transformer. So why not? Let's keep it brief. We say E1 is equivalent to K times F. Since 4.44, the theta sub m and n will be constant. Okay, so it is now K. E1 equals Kf. So in this case, we are talking about the condition when the input is 120 volts. Therefore, it is K times 400 hertz. Right? Okay. And of course, the second scenario is that we don't know how much voltage is safe when we want to, the input voltage is safe when we want to input 60 hertz. Okay. So let X be the input voltage. Okay. So dividing both, we have 120 volts over X equals, of course, it would be 400 hertz over 60 hertz. Now K and K cancels out because they are the same. Okay. So that we have X is equivalent to, of course, that's 60 hertz multiplied by 120 volts all over 400 hertz. So we cancel the hertz. So we are left with voltage. So 60 times 120 divided by 400, that will leave us 18 volts as safe input voltage, the highest safe input voltage. Okay. Okay, so we move on to question number 7. The primary transformer has 200 turns and it's excited by 240 volts 60 hertz source. What is the maximum value of the core flux? So we are talking about theta sub m. Since we have formula, E, generated EMF, is equivalent to, for the primary, of course, E1 is 4.44 F theta sub m, theta max, and N1. And if theta sub m is expressed as the flux density, that's gonna be multiplied by area. So this is also equivalent to beta max. Okay, right? The area and N1. Okay, but here, since beta max and A are not given, so we shall be using the first formula. Okay, so solving for theta sub m, that is E1 divided by 4.44 times the frequency and primary term. Okay, so that is 240 volts divided by 4.44 times 60 hertz times the turns, 200 turns. Okay, get your calculator and calculate with me. That will give us 4.5 times 10 raised to negative 3. And it should be, this would be in Weber. That Weber is the core flux unit of measurement, as a unit of measurement. And that is Tesla times area. Okay, because Betamax is in Tesla. So if Betamax is multiplied by area, which is Tesla times meter square, or area, okay, meter square, so we get Weber. Therefore, Tesla is usually in Weber per meter square. Okay, Weber per meter square is equal to Tesla. So our answer is 4.5 times 10 raised to negative 3 Weber, or this can be rewritten into milliweber. 10 to negative 3 is milli. The answer is milliweber. Okay. Number 8. So for question number 8, we have a transformer that is rated 2 kVA 230 by 115 volts 60 hertz. So because of an emergency, this transformer has to be used on a 50 hertz system. If the flux density in the transformer core is to be kept constant as at 60 hertz and 230 volts, okay, what voltage should be applied at 50 hertz? Okay. So here we have to keep something in constant, and those are flux density. Okay. Um, that is beta max, as well as, of course, we are using the same transformer, as well as the area. So theta sub m is to be kept constant. So from our formula, E equals um, K, or 4.44 F theta m sub n. Okay. So you see here that since we are using the same transformer, of course, it's going to have the same N, F, sorry, theta M, and 4.44. So here, we are making 4.44 theta sub M and N constant. It's because it said we are going to keep the flux density constant. And of course, we are using the same transformer, so N is also constant. And of course, 4.44 will always be constant. So we can say E is directly proportional to Kf. Okay. So since 60 hertz it is 230 and 60 hertz are directly proportional with one another, we may say 230 volts equals K times 60 hertz. That goes the same with the applied voltage we would like to solve. Let X be the applied voltage. So this would be done in 50 hertz. Okay, dividing both sides, we dividing the two equations, 230 over X equals, so of course we have 60 over 50. So only the voltage will be left, so that X in turn is equivalent to 230 times 50 over 60. And that is, bring out your calculator so that you get to practice and your calculator techniques. 191.67 volts. So the answer is letter D. Question number 9. So we have a transformer that has a no load input of 250 watts. So we call this the core loss, right? Core loss, 250 watts. So this is supplied at 250 volts, 50 hertz, has a power factor of 0.25. Now we are going to compute for the magnetizing component of the no load current. Okay, so how do we do this? Take note that in a no load test, the core loss is equivalent to the input voltage V times I sub naught, which is the no load current multiplied by cosine of theta. And I sub O cosine theta. So cosine theta is the power factor of our core. Okay. The core has an impedance. Impedance of the core is of course made up of the resistance of the core and the reactance of the core. That's the reason. V I sub naught cosine theta sub naught. And cosine theta sub naught is the power factor of the core. Okay. So we use magnetizing component of the core, the no load current I sub naught sine the power factor of the core. PCO equals V I sub naught cos theta. So we already know V and cos theta, so that I sub naught equals PCO divided by V cos theta. Okay, so that's 250 watts divided by 250 volts times 0.25. Okay, take note that cos theta and power factor are the same. Okay, so we have I sub naught, which is 250 or 1 divided by 0.25. So we have 4 amperes. So I sub naught. And we know that I sub theta, I sub naught sine theta is our okay, is our magnetizing current. Okay, I sub naught cos theta is the working current. I sub m is I sub naught sine theta sub naught is our magnetizing component of the no load current. So we have 4 times root of, since sine theta is 1 minus cosine square theta, right? Okay, so this is 4 times 1 minus 0.25. Okay, let's put ampere here, squared. So 4 times square root of 1 minus 0.25 squared. Yeah, root of 15 or 3.87 amperes. So the answer is letter B. Okay. And for number 10, copper loss of a transformer are determined by, of course, the answer is short circuit test. So there are 2 testing that we do in order to get the efficiency of our transformer. Okay, one is the core. The core loss. For core loss, which is a constant loss, that is an open circuit test. Okay, and for a short circuit test, that is aimed to getting the full load copper loss of a transformer. Okay? So you may write P sub CO or core loss is using the open circuit test. Okay. So for P sub Cu, which is a copper loss, that is done through short circuit test. So the answer to number 10 is letter C.